The emotions, sadness and grief. Sadness includes the emotion of regret, as when someone regrets a certain action or decision in the past and the mind is in constantly turned towards that time. Sadness and grief affects the lungs and heart. In fact, according to the simple questions, sadness affects the lungs via the heart. It says in chapter 39, sadness makes the heart cramped and agitated. This pushes towards the lungs lobes. The upper burner becomes obstructed. Nutritive and defensive qi cannot circulate freely. Heat accumulates and dissolves qi. According to this passage, then, sadness primarily affects the heart, and the lungs suffer in consequence because they are both situated in the upper burner. In this illustration, the clinical picture of sadness and grief, we see a woman showing tiredness. She has a pale complexion. She may have a weak voice. There may be slight shortness of breath, slight feeling of oppression in the chest, weak pulse without a wave. The lungs govern qi, and sadness and grief deplete qi. This is often manifested on the pulse as a weak quality on both left and right front positions, which are the heart and lungs. In particular, the pulse on both front positions is short and has no wave. That is, it does not flow smoothly towards the thumb. On a clinical note, sadness causes the pulse to lack a wave. Instead of feeling like a wave flowing from the rear to the front position, it feels as if each pulse position were separate. Such a pulse is a very reliable sign of sadness. In this diagram, the effects of sadness and grief. Sadness dissolves qi. What it does to the heart is the heart qi becomes deficient, and there is qi stagnation. To the lungs, there is lung qi stagnation and qi stagnation. It dissolves the qi, and in the liver, there is liver blood deficiency. As indicated above, one can feel the normal pulse as a wave under the fingers moving from the rear towards the front position. The pulse without wave lacks its flowing movement from rear to front position, and it is instead felt as if each individual position were separate from the others. In the case of sadness, the pulse lacks a wave in the front and middle positions. Other manifestations deriving from sadness and grief include a weak voice, tiredness, pale complexion, slight breathlessness, weeping, and a slight feeling of oppression in the chest. In women, deficiency of lung qi from sadness or grief often leads to blood deficiency and amenorrhea. Although sadness and grief deplete qi and therefore lead to deficiency of qi, they may also, after some time, lead to stagnation of qi because the deficient lung and heart qi fail to circulate properly in the chest. As mentioned before, each emotion can affect other organs apart from its specific one. For example, the spiritual axis on chapter 8 mentions injury of the liver from sadness rather than anger. When sadness affects the liver, it injures the ethereal soul. This causes mental confusion. The yin is damaged, tendons contract, and there is hypochondrial discomfort. This shows how organs can be affected by emotions other than their specific one. In this case, sadness can naturally affect the ethereal soul and therefore liver yin. Sadness has a depleting effect on qi, and it therefore, in some cases, depletes liver yin, leading to mental confusion, a sense of direction in life, and inability to plan one's life. Thank you for your attention.